Hey.
I feel like we should have had some confetti.
You froze. What'd you say?
As I feel like we should have had some confetti poppers or a champagne bottle or
Right.
something.
Because Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
I know it's
Welcome
almost
back.
February, which is scary to think about, but it's
Like
2024.
2 days. Two
I
days will
know.
be February.
It's
How?
crazy. It's crazy to think about. Hey,
How?
but y'all made it to 2024. That's what we're talking about.
Listen,
There you
somebody
go.
didn't
Well,
make it. Everybody didn't make it. A
not everybody,
million
but
didn't make it,
we're gonna try to
but
stay
I
positive.
am one of the ones who did.
You know what song I heard the other day because I have Sirius XM and I do the 90s on 9? Gangsta Lean. This one's for my homies.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just trying to
Wow.
reminisce. Of the good
All
old
I
days.
got is wow.
Well, you just said some didn't make it. You know what I mean? And we went down the dark
I
path.
was also singing a gospel song.
Oh, well.
You hit us with the gangster lean. I can't.
You went gospel, I went gangster. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Sometimes you got to be
Sometimes. I mean, they got that church organ in that song. There's some like gospel feeling to it at some points. Come on.
whatever you say, Chris.
It's a stretch, I know. Whatever. Well, welcome everybody to
Welcome.
season 3 of Mentali-Tea. I
Whoop,
can't believe
whoop, whoop,
it's 3
whoop.
seasons. That went so fast. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Time is slipping away like super, like sands through the hourglass.
Time. See, you just go keep giving me songs.
I know it is what it is, but it's perfect. So, well, tell everybody what the start of this month is like. The start.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Well,
perfect, y'all.
it's perfect for Mentali-Tea. It's perfect for us for sure. It is National Hot Tea Month. National Hot Tea Month. And I'm coordinating today. I gotta turn this way. Oh, that's right. Coordinating today.
Just say, oh, just pray. Just and
Shout out to Tiffany Jordan Ministries
you know which song's going through my
for
head
the
now.
fabulous shirt and mug. Tiffany Jordan Ministries. Go get your
There you
own.
go, Tiffany
Just
Jordan.
pray. That's it. What else you need to do?
That's why
What
we
else?
pray. Pray.
Pray.
Pray.
Pray.
We got to pray just to make it today. Okay. I took it. Listen, I went to
Oh
MC
my
Hammer.
gosh.
Hey, he was talking about praying. So it was, I get obsessed with the 90s. I don't know what to tell you. That is like,
As long as you don't have no hammer pants.
no,
All right.
that
Okay,
I
very
don't.
good.
No, I
So,
don't. No.
ah,
So what kind of tea, hot tea, are you drinking today?
that's interesting. So, I'm still in the holiday spirit. My tree is Valentine tree, but still in the holiday spirit. So I grabbed this.
Ginger snappish. Ginger snappish. Okay, it's a snappy ginger tea. Oh, well.
And it tastes like a cookie. Now I had planned to make gingerbread cookies to go with my tea.
Okay.
But I have not been able to find cardamom anywhere in any store. I have been south, north, east, and west looking for cardamom. Because that was the ingredient in these soft and chewy gingerbread cookies I wanted to make. Now,
and you can't find it.
I probably could use some allspice and just make it do what it do, but cardamom was on the recipe. So that's what I wanted to buy. So didn't find it, didn't make them. But 1 spoon of honey, we're still on 1 spoon. This is a gingerbread cookie. This is a cookie.
See, you didn't need to make them then, because then you just made your own. Bryson's in the house. Snaps with the ginger snaps.
This tea.
So that's our number one fan right there, everybody. Just so y'all know, Bryson, that's our true blue number one fan.
Absolutely.
100%. We love Bryson.
Absolutely. I was not expecting to like this, but I absolutely did.
That is interesting. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it smells delicious and it tastes delicious.
And you get the best of both worlds, because sometimes it can smell good and taste like not really great, or smell awful and taste like delicious.
Roots. Oh yeah. This smells and tastes like a gingerbread cookie without having to crunch them.
I mean, oh, we love you. Okay. I love you too, Bryce.
She's so famous. Talk about herself in the third person.
You know what?
Tell us what you're drinking before I tell them about the month.
First, before I do that, I have to give you a tea story. So Vic and I were that couple. Oh my gosh, I don't know how old we were when we did this, but we sat at the table, the kitchen table, drinking tea and playing gin rummy.
Oh.
I'm like, why are we acting like we should be in a retirement home right now? But whatever. We were winding. We're playing gin rummy, okay? Gin. I haven't played cards in a hot minute anyway. So I made him a tea, one of my yogi teas, Relax Mind. And I made it and I smelled it and I was like, I know I've had this, but this, whatever. And I said, do you want any honey in it? He goes, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. Gave it to him. I'm drinking my tea and he takes a sip. He goes, I'm drinking a wool suit right now.
A what?
A wool suit. He goes, why am I drinking a wool suit right now? And I said, I offered to put honey. I'm like, do you want honey? He's like, no, I'm already here. And I'm like, it's supposed to relax your mind.
I'm already here.
We went through the list of ingredients and I forget what flower, chrysanthemum was in there. He goes, that's what that is.
Weeds. Okay,
that was my tea story. But I am drinking. Okay, so this, I have it backwards. It's Caffeine Queen.
I can read it the right way. Yes.
Sorry, because when I switch the mirror, my smile.
No, I can read. It reads properly. I
chose this because Monica gave this to me for Christmas. It was a Christmas gift from Monica.
Oh,
it was so sweet. And funnily enough, I too am drinking a Bigelow tea.
So we didn't switch over.
I know. Bigelow, we're waiting. Any tea sponsors, Bigelow, Yogi, whatever. But we didn't plan this. Normally we're not drinking the same brand, but it's too funny. But I'm drinking Bigelow. It's a green tea with elderberry plus vitamin C.
You love your elderberry.
But I do love my elderberry because next Wednesday is already New York. For me and Monica, I can't believe it. It got here fast. It got here. Oh, I know.
I'm excited. Keep giving them something.
I'm excited. We got a chance to talk to the chaperone, and he seems very nice. He's from New Zealand, so has this fancy little accent. But he lives in New Hampshire, but he's originally from New Zealand. But he has this fun little accent, and
interesting.
He seems very nice. So that's what I got. My Bigelow with elderberry plus vitamin C, 100% daily value, supports a healthy immune system.
Okay, Bigelow, we coming for you. Cheers to season 3. Awesome. I love all pictures.
I know. I love it too. I'm like, you're just drinking drinking a cookie in a cup.
Man.
And for the record, this does not taste like a sport coat. This is a different tea. This isn't the tea I made him. The tea I made him per him tastes like
a sports jacket.
Hey, I offered honey and he didn't want it, so that's on him. I tried to make it better, but
well, what can you do?
But he still drank it all. And what did it relax his mind? I don't know. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
So what can you tell us about Hot Tea Month?
Hot Tea Month. National Hot Tea Month. Did you know? I'm gonna get you 10
I
facts. You got
bet you I don't, but go ahead, let me know.
10 facts for you. Tea is the second most consumed beverage in the world.
I can believe that.
We can guess what number one is.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it is the second most consumed beverage. There are over 1,000 flavors of tea.
I can believe that too.
Okay, all right. Tea bags were accidentally created in 1904 when Thomas Sullivan sent tea to his customers in silk bags.
Oh.
Accidentally created the tea bag. Vic, wrong show, Vic.
Wrong show. This is Mentali-Tea, not happy hours.
Yes, it was an accidental invention. He's silk bags. He sent his clients tea.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, that one I didn't know.
Number 4, a high quality white tea is an excellent start to your day because it is gentle on the stomach and it is a big caffeine booster. Now, we've heard about green tea. We've heard about black tea.
I have had white tea before. I've seen like when I went to a tea time, they had a white tea. And it's actually white tea is very mild. It is very mild. It is tasty. It can be on the sweeter side.
But it has lots of caffeine for your morning.
Oh, yeah.
So I know I've had tea that has white tea in it, but I don't think I've ever had just a white tea. So I'll be on the lookout. If you can recommend some, send this to us. Send it to us. We're looking for white tea. Number 5, hot tea has medicinal benefits known to fight off fevers, high blood pressure, lower stress levels, help with colds, and soothe nausea.
Absolutely, 100%. I believe that.
Okay. Number 6, tea has less caffeine than coffee, and it doesn't affect the nervous system. Did you know that the caffeine in the coffee is affecting your nervous system?
Oh, yeah, of course it is. What doesn't affect your nervous system anymore?
Number 7, research shows that people who drink tea have a 20% less chance of stroke or heart attack.
Okay. It's so where I come from with that. So obviously, being Middle Eastern, like tea is a staple. Like that's all my grandmother drank was tea. You couldn't have a meal without having tea before, after, whatever. She had many strokes because, but that was in her older age because the dementia, the Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So, and she did still have some kind of high blood pressure. I mean, so I believe that, but I think to a certain extent.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. Number 8, tea is packed with antioxidants to protect our bodies from toxins.
Yeah.
Even when it tastes like a cookie
or a sport coat.
Number 9, it assists in weight loss because it is calorie free. And it provides energy that helps you to burn calories during the day as well.
Okay. I'm still waiting for that. Every time I look in the mirror, my behind, I'm like,
Make sure you get the tea with the caffeine in it. Most of the teas that I have in there are non-caffeine.
Yeah, and that's what I noticed.
I typically would drink it at night, so I make sure.
This one is caffeinated. This green tea. Not all green teas are caffeinated, but this one is. But it's not. It's on the scale with the cups in the back. It's very low.
Right. I think the only ones that I have that are that do have caffeine are the Tazo. The Tazo teas.
Yes,
I got a
Tazo.
black one. I got the Energize. I got the Zen. Those are literally the only three that have caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Everything else is caffeine free. That is wild. Number 10, last tea tip. Uh, Tea provides a much needed mental moment to start, interrupt, or end your day. Consider it a grounding rhythm. You got to get the cup. You got to get the water. You got to get the tea bag. There was an accident.
It was an
You got
accident.
to put your tea in. There's honey. You have to serve.
The process.
There's a rhythm. It takes a moment. You might have crumpets to go with it. If it's too hot, you gotta.
Yeah. And it's just it's warm.
Mental maintenance.
It's just
you get to sit and have moments.
Yeah.
Sit and have a moment with your tea.
Yeah.
Enjoy the heat and open up your pores and all of that because you get a little facial at the same time, but it provides that much needed mental moment.
Yeah.
So my question for you and for anyone else that is listening, I know what it's not for Vic, but what is your favorite tea flavor? And we have so many. This might be really hard for us.
What did he say? All I heard was heat and crumpets, but yet I have the wrong show. We're talking about the warmth from the tea, and crumpets are like cookies. Like, get your mind, go to after hours.
Cookies, scones, donuts, whatever.
Crumpets. Yes, you have the wrong show.
Hilarious.
You don't have, anyway.
That is so funny. Do you have a favorite tea flavor?
Oh my gosh. So many.
I know.
Oh, that's a hard one. So the one that I normally drink.
He's fancy.
What is it? Oh, a London
fog. I've never had milk in my tea.
That is a London fog. So fun fact, that's how Brits drink their tea, with milk. Milk and lumps of sugar.
Okay, Bryson. Thank you.
Bryson loves her chai tea. So the one that I normally drink, that yogi one, oh shoot, what's it called? But it's got the elderberry and the lemon bliss, and I don't know. I love the taste of it. It's immune support. I don't know. It's got a good flavor. I don't ever have to add anything to it, which is what I like. I like when I don't have to add anything to the tea, of course, the Persian tea is always wonderful. And that's really just a black tea, really. It's very similar to an Earl Grey. But that sometimes you need to have like a sugar cube with it because it could be a little bitter. But
giving me ideas. Oh yeah.
Broken sugar cubes.
I think my favorite is still the Tazo Passion. I think that is still my favorite tea. Hot or cold, it is so potent with flavor. It's like you can add the spoon of honey, but you ain't got to run it over like you do with the rest of it. But that Tazo Passion, is still my favorite. So speaking of tea, I have a reservation for Hawaii tea at the Drake Hotel in May. I'm taking Mother for her. Tea is a traditional British high tea in their colonial room. It includes an assortment of pastries, fruit breads, scones, and assorted finger sandwiches with my tea.
I love it.
Now, here's what's interesting, because I looked up high tea, and technically, this ain't what that is. Now, low tea, it's a real thing. Low tea is usually in the afternoon. It is usually an elaborate affair with tea and sweet and savory sweet and savory dishes. High tea is usually a hearty meal with tea on high tables post work for the working class.
Interesting.
Now, unless Google got it wrong, they said high tea is for the common folk after work with more food, and low tea is the fancy one in the afternoon with the
I
finger
see.
foods.
I see. Oh.
Very interesting.
Spoiler alert, Angel and I are going to be doing a tea time.
Yeah, I got my hat. You know I got dresses.
Yep.
I might even put some heels on.
And we're going to need someone to be doing a photo shoot for us while we're doing that so that we can have it for the show. So
yes.
If anybody's interested in doing that for us,
please
no.
Come and have tea with us and be our media.
Your media guest.
Maybe Sweet Spot Media would like to come in.
Maybe.
You know, if they're available, they're so popular and so busy.
I know.
Sweet Spot Media would like to come and cover the shoot for Mentali-Tea at High Tea. That would be fun. Anyway.
Hint, hint, wink, wink. Nudge,
So those were my 10 facts about National High Tea Month. I hope you
love it.
Somebody's looking.
Person's like, I'm seeing.
Right. I hope you all feel more educated. And
I do.
And there are lots of places in the city that have high tea, not just the Drake Hotel.
Oh, yeah. You don't realize how popular it is until you actually want to do it and you Google it.
Thing.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
And it ain't cheap, but it's affordable.
Yeah. And accommodating for people with food intolerances. They do have gluten-free options. They do have vegan options. So they have vegetarian things. So it's very accommodating. And as we know, tea is already gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, whatever. So,
anything with lemon. Put it on my plate. Scones,
you know what? You will see that menu. Honestly, that menu will overwhelm you. Like, they bring out this tea menu and it just goes on for days. And you're just like, and it's separated by different types of teas. I'm like, huh? And then they have this thing called, what is it? Rubles, obols, something like ruble tea or robel tea or something. I don't know what it's called, but I'm like, what? This is a lot. Can I just have a regular, but then I don't know. And they give you the whole pot. They give you the whole pot with.
Okay.
You're gonna enjoy it.
I am. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I know what I'm wearing already.
Well, in May will be hopefully warmer and springy. So
and I'm always cold and it's probably gonna be air on, so I'm gonna have on sleeves anyway. But yeah, I know. I know what I'm wearing. I'll be ready.
I love it. I can't wait to see pictures.
I'm sure she will definitely enjoy that. We are so bougie. She will definitely enjoy that.
Yeah.
And since we're going to Oak Brook, shopping's going to have to.
Wow, you're right there.
It's like, just put your sneakers on. Come on. Come on.
I put my green tea bags in rooms. Okay.
You sound like a professional.
In room temperature water.
Professional.
And how long do you steep it for with the room temperature? Because that is a way. Like, I know some people who do that and they make tea, like sun tea. Like, they'll put it in the room temperature and just stick it literally in the sun. But that's like an hours long process.
Well, the first new recipe of the new year I made was overnight.
Overnight. Okay.
Okay. First new recipe I made for 2024 was peach turmeric iced tea.
Oh.
Which I don't know if that's a Bigelow. That might be a Bigelow as well, matter of fact. But it's peach turmeric tea. But I cooked it on a stove. I made peach puree and added it and diced up some frozen peaches. This flavor, very interesting. Very interesting flavor. It's not just peach tea because that turmeric got a little tang to it. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was the first recipe of the new year.
Wow.
Iced turmeric.
She's so extra. I made a peach puree. And then hey, ma'am. Jeez. Show us all up.
Well, I didn't have no peach snaps to put in it. So I had to use real fruit. No one.
That's
It was good. It was.
It does sound good. I do love a good peach tea. I've actually had a white peach tea. I forget who makes it, but it's very tasty. Like cold though, not hot.
White cold, peaches?
White peach tea.
Where you get some white peaches from?
I don't know. Just that's how the tea came.
Are they albino peaches?
Make them. Maybe it was a white tea with peaches.
Okay, because that sounds more like it, because I ain't never seen no albino peaches.
But it's called white peach tea. It might not be white peaches, but it could be just like white tea.
White tea with puree flavor.
No, there's no puree, but okay. Don't get that fancy.
I'll be on the lookout. Margaret, what's your favorite tea flavor? Yeah. Coffee. No. What's your favorite tea flavor? It is National Hot Tea Month. That's what it is.
I mean, and it just couldn't happen at a more perfect time.
Listen, this is good. Mint tea. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is especially good when you got a cold
or an upset tummy. Yep.
Upset stomach. Peppermint tea for upset.
Yes.
And if you don't have peppermint tea, throw some peppermints in some hot water.
There you go.
And a cough drop. It'll help you.
Yeah, and mint. I do enjoy good mint tea. That is, it is very fresh too.
Yes, and it's good cold as well.
I've never had mint tea cold.
I actually add peppermint to my green tea frappuccino.
Okay, fancy.
So it's the matcha green tea. Add peppermint. And then I learned how to make it at home. Save $8.
Yeah. Well, you can get that peppermint syrup easy. You can get that peppermint syrup off of Amazon easy. Or even at the store.
I got extract.
Mint tea with there you go. Right there. Mint tea with the Ricola.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my go-to. Ricola.
Yes. I buy the Ricolas that are they're lemon mint, sugar-free. They're lemon mint.
Remember when they only used to have one flavor? They only used to have one. Now they all flavors. Okay.
And then the big brown squares.
Like we gotta change
hurt your mouth trying to eat the thing.
Right.
You needed to put that one in the teacup because you sure couldn't slurp on.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Fun facts and hot tea. Well, now are we ready to talk about National Personal Self-Defense Awareness Month? It's a mouthful. But
tell us about coming from the family of Incredibles over there. Everybody got a karate belt.
Well, we have belts, but we do have 2 black belts in this house, and you would think it would be me and the adults in this house, but actually it's the kids in the house that both have.
The ladies.
The girls both have black belts.
Black belts.
Exactly.
I love it. My bodyguards.
Exactly. Because the oldest is going off to college in the fall, which is crazy to think about. But, I need to make sure that anybody try anything, she knows how to take care of herself and put people in their place if they need it. So
put people on their backs.
I'm just saying. If need be. So she was in Clue this weekend. Because this was the performance week for Clue. And she was Mrs. White. And so she was Mrs. White on Wednesday night and Saturday night. Wednesday night we couldn't go to because we were at the band concert. So we went to Saturday night. And it was incredible. That cast was incredible. But Mrs. White at one point has to knee one of the other characters in the, in the tender parts. And her line is, "I studied martial arts." And I'm like, well, technically, yes, you did. And please, if that has to happen, you know what to do. So with it being National Personal Self-Defense Awareness Month, I have, there's a couple of ways. Obviously, I'll tell you the tips that they say to do if you're ever in a situation that you can't avoid. Like, but always be on alert. Number one, always be on alert with your surroundings, with, I think the big thing is everyone's got earbuds in now. Everybody's got earbuds in and like either going on their runs, their walks, their bike rides or whatever, not realizing that, yes, you're getting your music, but at the same time, that's also distracting you because you're getting in your zone and you're just making it easy for someone to hone in on you. Now, can I just say, obviously, back in the day, it wasn't so prominent, I think, as it is now. Maybe it was. But I know me growing up and you growing up, I don't know. It wasn't something that we really worried too much about. But now I feel like you have to be on high alert at all times. Especially if you're a woman, which is sad, which is very sad. But so if an attacker touches you or it's clear that you can't escape, number one, get loud and push back. So say back off and push them. So this does 2 things. It signals for help and lets the attacker know that you're not an easy target. And I think we can all get loud. I know I can get loud. Where you really don't want to. Let's get loud.
Let's see.
Turn the music up. Hear that sound. Let's get We're just going to start playing the music as we say things.
I don't know.
Okay.
Need a DJ.
That's what I'm saying. You got a DJ to just kind of feed in the sounds. And so here's the most effective body parts to hit if you're in a confrontation. This says, before an attacker has gained full control of you, you must do everything you can, conserving as much energy as possible to inflict so you can get away. This is no time to be civil. In a physical confrontation that calls for self-defense, it's hurt or be hurt. So the parts of the body where you can do the most damage easily are the eyes, nose, the ears, neck, the groin, the knee, and legs. So if you do have to break free, you don't want to get closer to attack the person attacking you, right? You want to be able to do it from wherever you're standing. So really, you just have to see which part of the body you're closer to. And if you're going to strike the upper half of the body, you're going to want to use your hand. And the lower half of the body, you're going to use your legs.
Makes sense.
So for the eyes, gouging, poking, or scratching the attacker's eyes with your fingers or knuckles would be effective. The nose, if the attacker is close in front of you, use the heel of your palm. And we actually, the funny thing is, not funny, but we've learned these, like in karate, in our karate classes, these self-defense techniques are things that we've learned. So when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's this move. You know what I mean? It's like, so if the attacker is close in front of you, use the heel of your palm to strike up and under the nose. So up and under. Up and
we want to draw blood.
With the whole weight of your body. Because you don't want to hurt your hand. You want to use all that force.
You're trying to bust a nose.
Yes. If they're behind you from the side or front with your elbow, like if they're here, boom, get out of my way. I'm going to just pop. And if you need extra support, you hold that other hand and just, I got you. Right in the nose. But the biggest thing is you want to aim for the nasal bone up here. So they're not going to mess with anybody. For the neck, just apply pressure to. I mean, not wrong. Especially with the naughty.
Right in the kanikas. Right in the kanikas.
So the side of the neck, that's where your carotid artery is.
Oh.
Right? In the carotid artery, you could feel that's where you could check your pulse, right? That is also a part of your neck that you don't want to
chop
because you will die. It will gush. But if you want to just like if you have access to the neck, you do a knife hand. That's what we learn in karate, a knife hand chop. So you make your hand like a knife. Right? Your thumb stays to the side, your fingers are closed, and you're on an angle, and you just right to the neck. Boom. This one was my favorite one that we practiced in class.
I feel like you like that one.
Oh, I do.
You just showed us every angle
and the back fist. The back fist one was also one that I really enjoyed. But the knife hand, if you do it with all your force, that will listen.
And if you're John Wick and you have access to a pencil,
there you go.
With a pencil.
And it says here, for even more injury, you could thrust your elbow into the assailant's throat with all the weight of your body forward. Depends on your situation. If you want to get
that's close, right? You're getting
elbow.
Close.
This is going to be so painful on somebody, especially if you have pointy elbows like me. Listen, that's going to hurt. And your knee. Yep. It's like the WWE. Margaret, I'm 5 foot, barely 5'2.5". So any of these techniques are gonna work. Any of these, what I would say for a short folks, yes, the knees and the groin are gonna be your best.
Margaret is the jazzercise queen.
Oh, I would love to.
You got more energy than anybody trying to attack you.
I would say yes. Obviously, it depends on how tall your attacker is, right? Because if the attacker is like same height as you, any of the hand techniques and legs will work. But if they're taller, yes, I would say knees and groin are going to be the better options. And for the knee, you want to kick at an angle. So you want to kick the side of their knee. You don't want to kick straight on because that's really not going to do anything. But if you kick from the side, they'll lose their balance and fall.
I was about to say, you're going to be unstable.
Yes. So you kick the side of the knee. And those are also my favorites, like kicking. I have a lot of moves that I learned that I love.
Good grief.
But yeah, you want to kick the side of the knee because they'll lose they'll lose their stance on that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid, like kick it, like kick that. I leave crumpets, knees, and grunts.
It's bad.
Well, I mean, he's learned the same self-defense technique. So, you know, we're just talking about self-defense and how to keep your attackers from attacking.
Something I thought about with Margaret, she's talking about her height.
Yeah.
I've seen tips where you make your body go limp. So they, you know, if they're trying to grab you from behind, you just go limp. Mm-hmm. And then you can elbow and do all that other stuff. But
you can do that. I mean, we've been taught, you know, we've learned behind ones too. But it's also like if you find a pressure point in their hand, because we've done it to where you can take their arm and then you have it behind them. And if you hit this certain pressure point in their hand and go back, they go back with it. It's you'd be surprised to find. Now, interestingly enough, and it gets further in here, if you're in a position of a sexual assault, that's where they say to just play, basically like play dead. Because the thing of it is, if you're in a position of sexual assault, you're fighting, and that's what they want, is for you to waste your energy. You're wasting your energy by trying to get them off till you just don't have it anymore. But if you play dead, they'll think that they got you, so they're going to let go. They're going to release you a little bit more, and then that's when you just do what you got to do and get out. So you have to save that energy. And I know it's hard because you got that adrenaline going and it's like fight or flight, and there's that. So how to maximize damage using your elbows, knees, and head. Now, I, you know, could use your head. I personally would use that as like a last resort. I want to give myself a concussion. Let's see. If you're shorter, go for the midsectional. Yep. Force your foot. The only thing is go to the side of their knee, because if you go straight back, that's really not going to do much. They're still going to be stable enough. But if you go at an angle into their knee, they're more likely to lose their stance. You can also use everyday objects. A pen. Your keys.
Oh, yeah.
If you're outside, toss some dirt or sand or whatever in their face, in their eyes.
In their eyes. Mm-hmm.
Perfume, hairspray, you know?
Yep.
Exactly.
Complexes.
The funny thing here, it says for more inspiration, watch some Jackie Chan movies. So basically,
what was the eye? N was the nose, G was the growing. What was the eye?
Oh, in it, oh, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I keep wanting to say inseam, but I'm like, no, that's not right.
Instep. There you go.
I'm like, it's in something.
And you know I love that movie. Both.
Yes.
They need a third one. But
anyway. So basically, using your weight is going to help you a lot. The leverage your weight in your attacks, because that's going to do the most. And that's why when we take martial arts and we're doing practice punches or whatever, you have to come all the way and use all of your strength, all of your weight in there. Because if you're just doing this, that's not going to do anything. And then, you know, there are ways to do it without having to use physical force at all. Using your mind for self-defense. Learn your surroundings. You train to notice when something's out of place. Make surrounding checks a habit. Take a mental note of anything that's kind of changed in your surroundings. Learn 5 self-defense moves. Says you don't need to have a black belt in martial arts. Learn 5 self-defense moves and just keep practicing them over and over and over. And then you get muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I always wanted to take a class, but I'm not too keen about somebody flipping me on the mat.
Well, no, it really, well, it depends on the class you take, because we didn't do that in our martial arts class, but when Jasmine and Monica were taking wrestling, they were taking the Russian form of wrestling. Yeah, then they were being thrown.
Right. Well, the class that I saw.
Yes, people, I was building my girls to be lethal weapons, wrestling and karate.
The class I saw, that's what it was. You know, it's like the instructor would pretend to attack you.
Yeah.
And you had to, but most women ended up on the floor, on the mat before they were able to. I'm like, see that. I'm gonna have to know from the first day, because now I don't.
Yeah, there are some self-defense classes that are like that. It's like, like jujitsu and stuff like that. That's something that you would do.
Yeah.
But if you took like a regular martial arts class, like we do, like a karate class or taekwondo, and every school is different, right? So that would be definitely something you'd have to ask if that's not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, choose the lens through which you look at things. When you notice you're starting to panic, focus on acting, not thinking. Shift from, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, and telling yourself calmly, I'm going to get myself out of this situation now. And it's like reframe the thinking. Always easy to do, obviously. And focus on your physical fitness, because the stronger you are, the more powerful you are. Find your voice. Like I said, be loud. Be loud. Stop. I mean, my thing is, it says to say stop, because if you say help, I mean, this is what we look at when we say help. Okay, I'm just going to video this so that I can post it online later. Instead of coming to actually help you, I'm just going to video what's going on. It's like, okay, if I'm saying help, you're not helping by taking video. I mean, maybe in some way, but I'd rather you help.
Mm-hmm. Or yelling fire.
Something. Yeah.
Attract more attention.
Exactly. So that'll work really well if you're in a crowded place. And the last thing is to meditate. Just like on a daily, just practicing meditation to help reduce your stress, decrease fear, anxiety, and all of that. So you can use your mind, the mental and the physical, for self-defense. But yeah, I highly recommend, ladies, finding a self-defense class in the area and learning at least just 5 moves. Just 5 moves. But it's a lot. It's a lot, but it is very much necessary, I believe, in this day and age.
Excellent.
My 2 cents on that.
Excellent. Something else I thought about, and this is more for kidnapping purposes, but never allowing yourself to be taken to another location.
Like the online purchasing, like on marketplace or whatever. Like you don't, people will meet either at someone's house or whatever, but it's very much suggested to meet in a public place, particularly by a police station. Because I know we've read in the papers or whatever that people have gotten killed doing that.
Good, very good.
You go out to especially especially when you're in another space, especially at night. Park your car somewhere very well in the parking lot. Just find different ways to just help make your surroundings more aware, or make you more surroundings. That's what I meant to say. So, yeah. Oh, you got to project. Oh, am I freezing? Do I keep freezing? I don't know.
Yeah, it was breaking up.
Was it breaking up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do I have to kick all my family off of the internet?
I heard parking lot, well-lit areas. I heard that much.
Yeah. Being in well-lit areas, it'll make you more aware of your surroundings. And just being more aware of everything. I'm just going to kick my family off the internet. I'm going to see, hey, honey, if you're watching, tell everybody to get off the internet so I cannot be breaking up on this.
Right. It's interesting that Margaret mentioned the flashlight. I remember a time where just about every woman had a mini flashlight on their keys.
Uh-huh.
You always had something. Some, had a battery, didn't have a battery, but now everybody has a flashlight on their cell phone. People don't generally carry flashlights anymore. I have a giant flashlight in the trunk, but it's in the car. It's not helpful, but
right.
if you need to get something immediately, I feel like this self-defense keychain I purchased a couple of years ago.
I have that same one.
I'm wondering, was there a flashlight on that keychain?
Yes, there was. And pepper spray.
I know pepper spray was on there. I don't remember flashlight, but I do know.
And technically, that is supposed to break glass in your car. But yes, you can use that to put an eye out.
Mm-hmm. There was a window breaker thingy we bought in there. Well, I keep that in the car, but I just didn't remember if it was a flashlight. But yeah, that's a good point, because who got time to pull their phone out and go to the flashlight to blind somebody? And that's not even bright enough. Yeah, so you need to be able to get hold of something quickly.
And the movie suggestions. Karate Kid, obviously. You knew I was going to say that. And Enough is a great one, with Jennifer Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's Billy Campbell who's in it. That's a great movie. She kicks his so hard. So great. Those are just a couple movies.
Excellent. So in the same subject matter, guess we are preparing you for your year. It's also National Stalking Awareness Month. So there's lots of information I'm about to share. It's not all fun and games, but it's necessary. So this year marks the 20th anniversary of National Stalking Awareness Month. It is an annual call to action to recognize and respond to the serious crime of stalking. On December 29th, just passed 2023, President Biden issued a proclamation recognizing National Stalking Awareness Month to reaffirm this country's commitment to building a future where everyone can live free from fear, threats, and abuse.
Okay.
I didn't know the country was committed to that, but it was nice to hear.
Yeah.
So what is stalking? I got a few definitions for you. Following or harassing another person. It is conduct directed at a person that serves no legitimate purpose and seriously alarms, annoys, or intimidates that person. It means to harass or persecute someone with unwanted, this is the word you're going to hear a lot, unwanted and obsessive attention, unwanted and or repeated surveillance or contact by an individual or group towards someone. So, what does it look like? Stalking includes unwelcome and unwanted. Keep remembering these words: unwelcome and unwanted. Excessive contact, emotional abuse, watching and waiting, digital abuse or cyberbullying, spreading rumors, showing up unwanted and unwelcome, phone calls and texts and emails, following them physically, hacking accounts, threats to them or friends and family, filming without consent, property damage, harming animals, domestic violence, targeted violence, leaving gifts, or stealing possessions. Those are some of the things that kind of define what it looks like. Stalking is systematic, intentional, and deliberate tactics designed to maintain an unwanted relationship with the target. Unwanted, unwelcome. These are words we're going to keep hearing. These are some statistics. I got 10 statistics for you. 6.6 million people are stalked each year in the United States.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
75 to 80% of people are stalked by someone they know. And we're going to come back to that later. 25% of victims are stalked using technology. 78% of stalkers use more than one means to obtain information about their victim. 61% of victims are female. 43.5% of victims are male. And they are stalked by a current or former romantic partner. We'll come back to that. One, and you guys have experienced stalking. That's just our country.
Wow.
The most common types are unwanted phone calls and messages. That's the most common type of stalking. 1 in 7 victims of stalking move as a result of their harassment. Can you imagine picking up and leaving your house in your city? 1 in 7 victims move
because of
harassment from stalkers. Less than 40% of victims report stalking to law enforcement. Less than 40% actually report the incidents. 2/3 of stalkers pursue their victims at least once a week, but many pursue them daily.
That's nuts.
Okay. So who are these stalkers? 52.5% are current or former intimate partners. That's more than half.
It's more than half.
31.5% are acquaintances. 16% are strangers. 9% are family members.
Interesting.
I was surprised to see that in there.
Okay.
2.5% people of authority. Okay. Now, stalking is labeled as a crime under the laws of 50 states, the District of Columbia, the U.S. territories, and the federal government. It is a crime, according to all the bodies of government, right? So why are people stalking? I mean, we can think of some immediate reasons.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Stalking could be the desire to exercise control over a victim. Stalking could come from the fantasy of a relationship formed entirely in the stalker's mind.
Oh, yeah.
An entire fantasy that does not exist. Stalking could have roots in a mental health condition, such as borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, or narcissistic personality disorder. 50% of case studies about stalkers, the stalker had perpetrators are often motivated to control, humiliate, frighten, manipulate, embarrass, or take revenge on their victim. Also, scaring away other potential romantic partners. Post breakup pursuit is a form of dependency related to low self-esteem of those who define their worth through their relationship. This could lead to reacting poorly to the breakup with intense anger or jealousy. A lot of the stalking information keeps going back to intimate partners, romantic partners.
I mean, that's over 50. You said 52%. That's, yeah, that makes sense.
It ain't just somebody you know, it's somebody that
You
knows. Okay. You know, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it not reported? Going back to that statistic, it said 40%. 40% of cases were not reported.
Retaliation.
Why is it not reported? Victims struggle to understand the offense. Victims may believe the behavior will eventually stop. Victims have difficulty determining if the person is struggling to move on or actually developing threatening tendencies. So is this somebody that just can't get over me, or is this somebody that is going to hurt me?
Right.
Sometimes they don't know the difference. Society has romanticized the idea of a dramatic, relentless pursuit of love, which is confusing when danger gets involved. Most stalking laws require the stalker to have made a credible threat of violence against the victim or their immediate family.
But who gets to decide what's the credible threat?
That seems to be a huge problem because they determine if that threat is credible. Credible threat, reasonable fear of death or great bodily injury. Now, that whole list of what stalking looks like, everything does not include fear of death or bodily injury.
No.
So if you're reporting this to the authorities and they don't determine that it is a credible threat of violence, guess what happens to your case?
Gets thrown away. That's terrible.
Illinois, stalking is a class 4 felony, defined as following or watching the victim on at least 2 different occasions, causing the victim to feel his or her safety or well-being is at risk in some way. It carries a possible sentence of up to 3 years in a state penitentiary and or a fine of up to $25,000. The same felony and penalty applies to cyber stalking or cyberbullying. That is defined as harassing another person through electronic communications. However, those cases are often disregarded because the online space removes the physical characteristic of the interaction. So going back to what a credible threat of violence, if it's happening online, If somebody's doing that on the computer, on the phone, via email, via text message, because it's not a physical altercation, interaction, they're not actually present. Oftentimes, these cases are disregarded because it was online. And yet, we have schools all over the nation that are expelling students for the one incident of cyberbullying out of here.
I mean, to me, I feel like that's how it would start. And then it would grow into worse. And if whatever. Especially now with all the ways of technology, I feel cyberbullying or cyber stalking is how it starts until it gets to be in person and too late.
I want to go back to reasons why things don't get reported. I feel like a lot, I can only speak as a woman, I'm a woman. I feel like a lot of women don't take the behavior as serious as it could be because we are so used to seeing dramatic displays of affection and breakups and drama, in media. That's how people act when they want you and they can't have you. I think we excuse a lot of behavior that is potentially dangerous and life threatening, because it has become the norm. This is a regular thing. It's a regular thing.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of jeopardize. Yes, Margaret, absolutely. It is an actual threat to a person's life. Yes, it is.
And that's the problem. Authorities don't take that into account, and it's like, you have to take that into account.
Right. And because, there are threats of danger or violence or potential altercations, I think a lot of women don't report things because they feel like it would escalate into something else. If you go and get a restraining order, if you go and get an order of protection against someone, and they find out about it, they're really going to be angry. You have no idea, and what they're going to do, and what is the actual protection. Because the police aren't there. Self-defense. Police aren't there, when they show up at your doorstep or your job or your school or some other activity. Right. You might not have a copy of whatever you need. And again, do police consider it's credible? Because once they hear it's an ex-boyfriend, no, this is a domestic dispute. No, this is an act of violence or threat of violence. I also think a lot of women will put somebody else's needs before ours, or somebody else's best interest before ours. So if you do go and report something that's on their permanent record, and you don't want to be wrong, maybe it wasn't dangerous, maybe it wasn't stalking, maybe this was just him trying to get me back versus,
right,
what it could potentially turn into. I remember when I was in college, there was a guy in my dance class. He had a foot fetish. I only know that because he commented on everybody's feet, and if you came in, as soon as your socks came off, he was, trying to see what color your toes were that week. It was creepy, but every semester I took that class, he was in that class. And I know a lot of people took the class repeatedly for, health reasons or physical activity, but he was never very good at the class. He was just in the class. Like he wasn't a dancer like some of the other people in the class. He was just there. I remember when I would be leaving school in the evening, because I also worked. I worked in records. I worked in admissions at some point, but I noticed he was always leaving when I was leaving. And it didn't matter what office I worked at, it didn't matter what floor I was on, it didn't matter which way I went. He was leaving.
Interesting.
School downtown Chicago. It's dark. I took the train. I took the L. You know, you got to go down the, yeah, and he would be on the platform. You know, and I would make my way to go out of my way to the other side, end of the train, whatever, so he wouldn't strike up a conversation. But I always felt extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I remember telling one of my play brothers, please walk me to the train. I got fed up one day. I'm like, walk me over here. And sure enough, he disappeared. And we did that a couple of more times. Just walk me to the corner. And all of a sudden, he's nowhere around when I would see him every day. And then I would still see him in class. That was my first stalking experience.
Yeah. That's creepy.
And that was college, you know. So another statistic I saw said most people who have experienced stalking, it happens between 16 and 24.
Wow.
Yeah, that was around that time. That was within that age realm. But how many other incidents have we had with a coworker or a neighbor like that we weren't really paying that much attention to?
Right.
And this is what it was, but we didn't want to call it that. You know, he likes me, you know, or he's just trying to get close. No, you're not safe. You're not safe. And the fact that another male presence coming into the space, change what you're doing. But yeah, that answered every question.
Right.
And then I started taking the bus instead of the train because we're not gonna play these games. Because if I come up missing on Harrison and State Street, ain't nobody gonna find me down here. We're not doing that. So,
wow.
How to protect yourself?
Knife hand to the neck, knee to the groin,
right in the knees, right? How to protect yourself as best you can. First and foremost, explicitly state that communication should end and do not respond to any further advances. So being clear, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested. I'm not gonna have a conversation. Do not call me. Do not email me. Explicitly stated, and do not respond to any further advances. Number 2, maintain a log of the stalker's actions, including communication, unwanted visits. To keep a tab. Follow me to the train, 5:45 Friday, January 29th. Came and sat across the table in the restaurant. Right? Now we got to have a log of all of your indiscretions. Number 3, avoid the stalker as much as possible. I told you, I go the other way.
Yeah.
Into the train. At some point, I'm going to just take the bus. We're not going to do that.
Right.
It'll take me longer to get home, but if I'm safer, fine.
Right. Exactly.
Avoid the stalker as much as possible. Number 4, become educated about technology-related safety measures. You might need to change your password, change your PIN number, change your email. You might need a new phone or a new computer. And something people don't think about, turn off the GPS on all of your devices. Cell phone, tablet, computer, car. Because if they can track it, they can hack it.
Yep.
Number 5, find a local organization for support, information, and safety planning. Because if the police can't help you, somebody else knows something.
Absolutely.
6, it was a restraining order. This is the highest level. Restraining order, order protection. This is the highest level you get to in trying to remain safe. The last one, Margaret brought up mental health. Seek mental support through counseling or therapy for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something to blow over. This is something that could develop into PTSD, could develop into trauma responses. This could be a trigger. Every time we see somebody coming, now we're dealing with anxiety, or we're dealing with depression, or we're dealing with insomnia because we can't sleep at night. Seeking mental support for yourself to find a way to manage those, those emotions, and deal with the experience that you've had.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, part of me wonders if the reason why women don't report it as much is because in the back of their minds, they feel like I'm too smart for something like that to happen to me. You know what I mean? Like that, there's no way that that's happening to me because I should know better. Did I freeze again? Okay. Every time I'm talking, I freaking freeze. This is freaking annoying. Anyway, what I was saying is, what if women don't report it as much because, they're like, well, no, that's not going to happen to me. I'm too smart for this, that's not first thing on their mind. And I wonder if that's part of it too.
And being educated does not remove the threat of violence or danger.
Exactly.
It makes you more aware, you're more aware of your surroundings. You pay more attention in the store when somebody's paying a little more attention to you. Okay, we're not going to go straight home. We're going to make a stop. I'm going to pull over right here at this police station and see what happens then.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to take my time in this store. I'm going to go chat it up with the security guard. I'm going to let somebody else know, this guy's been walking around this store. I don't feel safe. So that somebody else is aware of what's happening as well.
I mean, I just wonder if they're like in denial,
Absolutely. Yes, Margaret. They think that's not something that can happen to me.
Right.
Especially if you know karate and you take self-defense classes.
See?
Oh, I already know where I'm hitting that. Yeah, okay. Stab you with a needle and rolled up somewhere. You can't use none of those skills now.
Yeah.
But think about the men, because I got stories. I'm not sharing those stories, but think about men who have been stalked by former intimate partners, and what goes through their mind in trying to report it, or even the responses that they get from the authorities. I was the woman, she bothering you, or you because what was it? Credible threat of violence. But what happens when it's harassment? What happens when it's humiliation? What happens when it's blackmail? Right? What happens when rumors are getting spread? What happens when somebody's trying to destroy your character or your reputation? It's not just violence.
Right.
And what happens if it's online? Does that change? That doesn't change the damage that can be done.
No.
And it doesn't make a difference if it's male or female.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make a difference. But a lot of men are judged differently for coming forward to report something like that. Because as a man, what? Are you supposed to be smarter? Or are you supposed to be able to control this woman? You're supposed to be able. So what? He's supposed to use violence now? So that's not very helpful or supportive when you're seeking assistance from the authorities and they're belittling your situation.
Reporting.
Absolutely. Yes. Made to feel less than a man. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that do to the mental health? We already have stigmas about mental health and getting counseling and therapy support in the first place. We already know that men do it at a much lower rate than women do. So are they going to seek out support for a situation that happened to them? Because they can't talk to anybody else about it because they're getting judged everywhere they go.
Right.
Whew. We don't want to talk about the real stuff.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad you have a lighter topic to end on. But for the media, movies, Fear.
Yes.
Session. Single wife female. We
Single
going
wife female.
Single wife female. Cape Fear. Fatal Attraction. Everybody knows. We talk about the men. Fatal Attraction and Misery.
Mm-hmm.
Obsession was with a man, about a man too. TV shows. You. That was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I did not want to see a third. That man was.
What about? I thought about this one. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Woo! All that is obsession and something else put together. They remake these same movies and call them something else and change the characters all the time.
But that one
they had another movie in the last 3 years that was a total remake of that. Same with Obsession. And then Single White Female. It wasn't Amber Riley. Was it Amber Riley? It was some other movie with 2 Black women, and one was a TV star and the other one was her assistant, and she was obsessed with this woman. The Babysitter. There you go. Okay. Another Hand That Rocks the Cradle, right? Mm-hmm. She was obsessed with her boss and wanted her job and wanted her life and wanted her man and wanted in her closet wearing her clothes. That was like Single White Female for the new millennium. They was just Black.
Crush. The Crush was another one. Like, I'm going back to the 90s.
I saw that on the list, but I had never seen it, so I didn't.
That one was. Alicia Silverstone was the babysitter for the neighbor, and she started becoming obsessed with him. I'm like, yeah, that one.
That's on the media list.
Yeah.
Target of Love by Angel Simmons.
Target of Love by Angel Simmons. Go
visit that book. AngelSimmons.com. Target of Love, Surviving Narcissistic Abuse. But it also touches on relationships with professors, church clergy, family members, parents, friendships. A lot of it talks about personality disorder. We already, heard those statistics. At least 50% of those case studies showed that they had at least one personality disorder. The stalkers that were studied. This book touches a lot of that. So,
and if I may do a shameless plug, Angel will be a vendor next month selling her books during our Black History Month production on February 24th in Schaumburg.
Excellent. And the name of the production is?
The name of the production is Cadillac Crew, being directed by Samoa. I don't even know French at the extent of it. But
it sounded good. Like you knew what you was. I don't know what you're saying, but it sure sounded French.
But Angel will be there vending books, so please come out to buy books, watch the show. We're gonna have a bunch of vendors, and if you are a vendor or want to vend, reach out to Maurice Prophet at B-Side Studios. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. Roy Kent. Anyway. My Ted Lasso in.
Excellent.
Whoa, well, that was deep. And I don't know if I'm going to freeze, if I'm not going to freeze. I don't know what's going on. We just upgraded our internet, so I don't know why it's being...
Close a few windows that you got open.
I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. But so it is also Mental Wellness Month.
Thank God.
And it's the perfect month to do it because it is the first month of a brand new year. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to kickstart your mental wellness for the year. And I love it. And mental wellness, it refers to how you invest in your mental health. It's all the actions you take to ensure your mental health needs being met and maintained. It does not mean you eliminate a mental health disorder. You do what it takes to control it. So I have a few ideas on how to celebrate that. Create a mental wellness gift. So gift giving is a rewarding experience in the brain. It triggers a release of pleasure chemicals. Giving gifts that help others invest in their mental wellness can be even more rewarding. Personalize each wellness gift based on likes and preferences. For example, don't schedule a massage for a coworker or friend who hates being massaged.
Duh.
Plus, massages can be pricey. Wellness gifts don't have to be too much. Ideas include journals, essential oils, adult coloring books, which I love, self-help products, relaxation gifts, or just encouraging notes and cards. Excellent. And then don't forget to customize something for yourself too.
That's right.
Number 2, and this one I believe is so important, and I feel that people either think it shouldn't be important or it doesn't matter, but it matters. Create boundaries between home.
Again for the people in the back.
Create boundaries, period. However, this continues to say create boundaries between home, school, work, and social life. Boundaries are healthy. Boundaries are necessary. I can't emphasize that enough. Boundaries. This goes to say arguing with your spouse right before you leave for work means those emotions will follow you into your work day and affect how you do your job. Working from home after work hours means your job is interfering with your home life and the time you spend with loved ones. It's and case in point, Vic has been working from home since March of 2020 when COVID shut everything down. He has been working from home for the last 4 years in his office. So there are times where, you know, it's hard to separate, right? Because your office is in your house and you're like off a call and you bring it upstairs and it causes chaos. So learning how to create those boundaries. It's crucial to set boundaries between the sectors of your life to stay mentally well. Without boundaries, your world will become consumed with the biggest problem at the time. Suppose you disagree with a coworker. If you go out with friends for dinner, the conversation will focus on that disagreement. When you get home, your time with loved ones will be spent discussing it. Trying to focus on schoolwork or anything else will be challenging. This does not represent mental wellness. So you start becoming obsessed about that disagreement or whatever, and that's all you talk about. Creating boundaries means establishing rules with the people in your life regarding how you will handle various situations so that all of you remain mentally well and come to an agreeable solution. Yes, let's talk about your day, but don't take your day out on me. You got to try to find that. And I know I froze. Yes, I'll repeat myself because I probably froze. Yes, tell me about your day, but don't take your day out on me. That's your like. I'm here to listen, but that projection ain't working for me. Got to put that boundary up. Number 3, host activities that boost mental wellness. An activity that boosts mental wellness is anything that allows you to be creative, have fun, feel rewarded, and teach you something. They could be done alone, but are even more effective in groups. Examples of activities include hosting a craft night, taking your pets to the park, join a sober paint party, because you don't have to always drink to be feeling happy. Attend group counseling. Take a class to reduce stress, like yoga or meditation.
Ooh, guess what I took in December?
What?
Calligraphy.
Oh.
I finally did a sip and script calligraphy class.
Oh, how was that?
It was fun. It brought back a lot of memories from high school because we took calligraphy in high school.
Oh my God.
But I had to go buy some paper and
and stuff.
Like I'll be ready for I don't know, I had this bright idea that maybe, me addressing my customers might get a little fancier.
Oh, okay. Even more reason to come and buy a book next month because maybe she'll calligraphy her little signature in that.
You don't want it yet, not yet.
Also learn to cook healthy from a local chef. Enjoy spa days. And finally, learn new hobbies. Those are some ways to get your mental wellness going for the new year.
Excellent.
I personally would love to enjoy spa days. Like I said, I think before we ended for the year last year, I did sign up for a massage NB to, get in there and get massaged. I need to catch up on my monthly massages, but
that's okay. They will accumulate if you don't use them.
That's true. That is so true.
Sometimes my January massage was canceled. She was under the weather, so
no. That's never fun. That's never fun when things get canceled.
No, it's not. I did go in December, but January was canceled. February's on the schedule. I'm hoping that's not canceled because November was canceled.
These months, it just, I'm frozen. I know I am. I'm not frozen. You're frozen, which means I'm frozen.
Am I back? When you make your mental wellness and your self-care a priority, you have to do something different. So I can't rely on one person, one physical therapist, one massage therapist. If my appointment get canceled, guess what? I need to go to somebody else.
Yep.
I need to have another option because I shouldn't have to wait another month because it was canceled. And I have done that before, but it was not a priority.
Yeah.
Maybe twice in the whole 2023. So this year we're gonna do something different. And you can always find an opening at another location. The location nearest to me is right next door to a Cooper's Hawk.
Oh well. I mean,
so
massage and dinner or massage and lunch.
I'm saying, so why not? I could just go there and find somebody who has an opening, right? There it is. All of that. Hey, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But when you're making it a priority, you have to readjust those things.
Yeah.
A cancellation means, okay, I need to fill that. Need to fill that space. Although sometimes the cancellation in your schedule means go take a nap.
Yep. I've noticed as I've gotten older, I'm okay when plans canceled.
I love it. I ain't want to go nowhere.
I'm just like,
I ain't want to go nowhere.
I'll be looking and be like, it's a little cloudy. I don't know if I want to drive it.
Forcing myself to leave the house. I ain't want to go nowhere. I'm so glad.
I don't get the thing of it is back in the day, I used to get really upset. People would cancel because it happened all the time. And I think it's because I really had to get out of the house because I was home with the kids and all this stuff. And it was like, that was my escape. And then if it would get canceled, I would get so upset. Now I'm like,
amen.
In my pajamas in 2 seconds. Okay, we can't. Oh, bummer.
And and some of that comes from, even being a young person and growing up in a toxic household environment or whatever was going on, I was always out of the house. It was always some organization, some club, some meeting, some fashion show, some choir rehearsal, some runway, something. I had to be out of the house. And that followed me from high school to college to being an adult to ministry, youth ministry, young adult ministry. It followed me. And then, fashion came back up. I was done with music, and then here comes fashion coming back up. Then it was a show every 3-4 months. I had to go somewhere. Margaret is my road trip fashion buddy.
Okay.
On here because I always remember the shenanigans. It was shenanigans, but our road trips were always fashion show weekends, 2, 3, 4 days, but when the pandemic hit and people had to stay home, that's when I realized how much we had been running, going, filling our schedules. And I don't have to be anywhere. I ain't want to go no way. Are you kidding me?
I remember.
I'm noticing. I just wanted to be at home. I just wanted to be at home.
Yes. I will say,
me too.
I mean, and Angel, you can attest for this. When COVID happened and things shut down, I was not handling it well at all. Like, because I was one of those people always on the go, like always doing that, and it was just like a dead stop, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like, I can't do this. I was going crazy. Like, my mental health was like not great at all.
And here I am, girl, sit down, be still.
You're loving it. Me, I'm like,
loved it. Loved it. We gotta go outside. Just call me.
Seriously, I think Angel helped me get through that time because we would just sit on here and just talk for hours. And I'm just like,
we were on phone calls, became video calls
for hours. And like, I think
you and Jessica,
4 hours.
She called me a few minutes ago. You and Jessica, and that's the same. They remain to this day. I'm gonna call you on video before I pick up the phone.
But I think that once we came back from COVID, I know we're still in it, but not as deep as it was. I started getting myself busy again. Which that's just how I'm programmed. I'm just programmed to overcommit myself. I've always been that way. Even though I say I'm going to learn how to say no to things, still, because it's like, well,
no to this.
If I can't, I cannot say no to nothing.
And I went the other way.
Yeah, and I just
getting back into all of that.
She started saying no to everything, and I'm just like, nope. I gotta get back into this. But what's really horrible, and I don't know if it's a horrible thing because it's working out really well for her, but I think like Monica is like a mini me. Like, she overcommits herself, but it's like that's the thing. Like, we overcommit ourselves to the point where our anxiety just starts taking over. So when I get to a point, like, I've had to talk Monica, like, okay, you have all this stuff, but this week this is gone. It's off your plate, and it's like, you just have to focus on that. I can preach it, but can I do it for myself? Absolutely not. I can't do it for myself. It's like, I can talk you through it and you'll be just fine. I will talk you through it and you will be just fine. But for me to do it, who are you kidding? I can't practice what I preach. Are you kidding? So I just take on more and more stuff. But I have to learn that it's okay to say no. But my whole thing is, I worry because it's like, well, if no one does it, then it's going to go.
And it won't get done. And then they got nothing to do with you.
Exactly. That's my problem. It's like, but it's not your problem if it doesn't happen. Like, it's not.
Obviously, they didn't want it.
So I'm trying to get better about it, but it's just, and I don't know if it's because I have to fill all of my little time, but like I said, now that I've gotten older, if plans get canceled, okay, I'm fine with that. I put on my pajamas, sit on the couch, and love on the dogs all night. I'm fine. But yeah, I know. I probably froze. I'm talking to my myself.
you're
No,
fine.
I'm not. Okay. I'm like,
I'm just letting you have that.
I'm just like, when I see the smile and nodding, I'm like, okay, did I freeze? Oh, thanks,
Yes,
Bryce.
right.
I did finally get a complete sentence out.
Complete.
I don't know what's going on, y'all. I
whole.
never have the issues with the StreamYard.
Complete in the whole sentence. No. No, thank you. Not able. Not available.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for me. Won't be able to.
Yeah.
Without apologizing.
Oh gosh. You had to throw that in there.
Yeah, I did. Without apologizing.
No, it's a complete.
And it wasn't just the pandemic for me, but when I lost my car a few years ago, and I noticed how many events I wasn't able to attend. Go to, I couldn't buy your VIP ticket because I'm gonna be on the front row. I'm buying 2 tickets. I'm finding somebody to go. I got VIP, I got box seats, whatever, because I'm that supportive person, right? When I couldn't go to the things and I couldn't show up to the things, nobody was trying to come and get me to go to their things. Nobody offered me a ride. Nobody asked me how I was doing. Nobody asked me what was going on with my car. Nothing. I said, you know what? All these things are not even mine. They're not mine. Why were they such a priority on my schedule? I was spending money going to people's things.
Yeah.
And when I didn't have the thing to get me to their thing, nobody was looking for me. That's when I stopped putting things on my calendar.
Yeah.
And some of those people that were having those events that I was supporting, I ain't heard from since. I done had 3-4 cars since then. I ain't heard from them since.
No, it's a healthy boundary when applied, right? Society's made its payment. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. Because I know that you sometimes will have events and I can't get there, but I know when you had your last V3 show, I think I bought tickets like to just donate because I'm like, I know I can't be there, but I still want to support you. There's very few people I do that for. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you said, I'm supporting you when I can't even be there and you're not even like, making an effort to check in. So there's very few people. Like, I think you're really the only one on the list right now that I do that for.
It is definitely eye-opening, but everybody is a priority to themselves.
Yeah.
And for those of us who have been that support person for everybody else, it's very noticeable when you don't get it. It is not good for your mental wellness.
Yeah.
It is nothing healthy about having no boundaries.
We need boundaries, definitely.
Yeah,
I know. I feel like my time is for my family. Like for my kids, like, perfect example, opening night for Clue was Wednesday, but Jasmine also had a band concert. So I had to like, hey, Monica, I'm going to have to catch your show Saturday or your character Saturday because I can't miss Jasmine's band concert. I can't. I wish I could. I could, but I can't. You know what I mean? Like, and
if it had only been one night, then you'd have been in one thing and Vic would have been in the other thing. And that's what you do.
And then I would still have gotten guilt tripped by one of them for why did you pick her over me? Or why weren't, and it's like,
that's when you got to draw straws and flip a coin and everybody watch.
Okay, who's going? Exactly. And for New York next week for Carnegie, I'm blessed that I can go. I'm very thankful that I can go with her, and get the opportunity to see that because I missed last year when she was in Cincinnati because I had the play, but she still doesn't let me live that down. And I didn't go to Cincinnati. I'm like, girl, I've been to every single thing that you've done. I missed one thing.
Just because people guilt trip you.
Yeah.
Don't mean you ain't got to go for the ride. They could offer you that guilt trip all day long. Do you have to get on that bus and take that ride? No.
But it's tough because it's like I try to support everybody as much as I can. And sometimes I feel like I'm obviously my kids are my number one, right? Who I'm going to support the most. And now that they've gotten into more and more things, you're frozen, which means I'm frozen. So now I'm going to have to repeat what I just said. So I'm going to repeat what I just said. So now I feel like when they're getting involved in more and more things, I feel like, okay, my priority is supporting them. And so then I feel like a bad friend to my other friends that I feel like I'm not supporting enough because I'm like concerned, like, making sure I'm supporting them enough and I'm not, I get into my head and I get into my head all the time about it. And then it's like, it's draining, and I don't know. There's very few people that, I don't know.
Being aware of all of that is the first step.
Yeah.
The fact that you recognize it, when you're doing it, you can see it happening. That's the first step.
Yeah.
And then being able to make those changes to put up those healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
Some of those healthy boundaries are going to have to start with you not feeling guilty.
Yeah.
When you have to say no. And I know it's difficult. I was saying, I think I froze earlier, but it's very hard for us to say no when we've been saying yes to everything all our lives.
Yeah. That's so true.
When we didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
When we didn't have a choice, no becomes very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And for people like me, I will overuse it. Just I say no before you finish asking the question. No, just because I feel good saying what do you want? Oh, okay, I can do that. But I'm gonna start with no, and then I'm gonna work my way back. No,
that is true. There have been times where I'm like, can I ask you a question?
No.
Like, what do you want?
You got to get used to saying it, practicing it. Mean that. Say it with your chest. No.
And I say, well, I'm going to ask you anyway.
And it might be a yes, but I'm going to start with no and I'm going to work my way back. Now, that ain't quite a healthy boundary. That's my boundary. This is my balancing act. I'm going to just start with no. And then I'm going to see if I can do that. I'm going to see if I can do that. But I had to set some huge boundaries this year. I told you about, I shared some things with Chrissy about my last therapy session in December in regards to my schedule and some boundaries I had to set with the money I spent going out of town and road trips and supporting other people's, adventures and businesses and events. When you don't get it back, when there's no gratitude, when there's no thoughtfulness or consideration for the energy and time that you're putting into something, why do you keep doing it?
Right.
Why do we keep doing it? And I had to really set. It was so hard for me to do that, but I had to draw that line as to what I'm not going to do and where I'm not going to go, what tickets I'm not purchasing, so that I can have money to do whatever I want to do and travel and go to events and see people I really want to see, and not running around, helping somebody else do something.
Right.
So, it's very hard. It's very hard. It's still difficult for me to say no, but I just have a lot more practice right now. Yeah. So that was the last healthy boundary I set coming into this new year. What I'm not going to do in 2024 in order to protect my mental wellness, in order to maintain my peace, and to really enjoy my time. We don't get that back.
No.
Time is a precious commodity.
It really is.
I'm glad.
Oh, good.
So glad And so sorry to those people that you are not going to see because you ain't going. So sorry. So sorry to those people.
Yeah.
You need your time.
Yeah.
You need your time. Matter of fact, we need some time. I'm going to send you a message. We're going to have to meet at Walmart. I can't just walk Walmart. We can just walk to Walmart. I have to drive out there to meet at Walmart.
Well, we covered a lot of stuff tonight. A lot of heavy stuff and
yeah, that was supposed to be the easygoing topic on the way out.
Right? We just opened a whole nother can of worms on that one.
We got people making life decisions. I'm not going. Whatever helps.
Yeah.
Whatever helps.
Well, y'all, we'll be back again exactly 1 month from today on February 29th because it is a leap year.
Leap?
We're leaping. And we're actually going to have a special guest on next month. So we're going to leap to the end of February.
Leaping with a special guest. I love it.
Yeah.
It's also a month of love. So
month of love. So be sure to tune in and let's find out what we cover next month. Yes. Maybe we'll help someone else through something else next month too.
Oh yeah. It's all about
what we're here to do.
Helping each other. And that conversation helped me too, you know, because there's some stuff that I'm thinking now. I don't think I want to do that either.
Here we go. Now we're just going to say no to everything. We were already saying no to everything. Now we're really saying no to everything.
Add that to the no list. I don't want to do that either. And that's perfectly fine.
No. Excellent topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
I always love when you tune in.
Thank you for tuning in and staying with us, rocking with us.
Yes. I think this is one of the longest shows we've had.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. We had a whole month off. So, you know, we had to come back and fill everybody up with important things to start off the new year.
Excellent.
Okay, y'all. Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. We love you. And, you know, next month.
Be well.
Be well. Be on your mental wellness boundaries. Boundaries. Yeah. Say it with
Go have a cup of tea to end your night.
National Hot Tea Month. All right. We love you. Bye.